Now, we also are lucky to have ChilHeward back.
$172 billion to Canada's national debt, not the $85 billion the Tories have predicted. And it'll take 6 years to return to a balanced budget, not the 4.
Jill?
The market, as I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, David, we've had a phenomenal market for the last 3 months. And I'm not surprised to see this slight correction today. How far it will go, I am not sure. But the values that we saw, I was mentioning to Pierre a few moments ago, the values that we saw in the first week of March were phenomenal. But many stocks are up anywhere from 100 to 300%. And when you have stocks like that,
These are the stocks that you picked for your book.
Your metals, for instance, Tech, Cominco, and others, up, are up from 3 to 19 now back 15 and a half. We've had a phenomenal market, and I'm not surprised at all to see a correction. And we have taken money off the table. Months with a great deal of volatility, particularly in the currency markets. The currency of the dollar has moved up from 77 to almost 93, now back to 90 and a half. We've seen the U.S. dollar surge against the euro and the pound. And I'm not surprised. I think we're going to get a great deal of volatility. I think people here should think about, as I was saying to my friends sitting beside me, the dollar beneficiaries. Think about it. The U.S. dollar beneficiaries as the U.S. dollar comes down, and the beneficiaries of a very strong Canadian dollar. Because if you go back to the mid-70s, and as inflation began to take off, the money that was made with a Canadian dollar at par, all right, between 77, 8, 9, and 80, a phenomenal amount of money was made. You remember, Pierre, with the Canadian dollar at par. The Canadian dollar beneficiaries, there were many of them.
Not the exporters.
I'm talking about beneficiaries. I'm not talking about the negative side. I'm talking about the positive side.
Who would profit from?
Well, this is the exercise that we're working on right now, and it's not an easy exercise. But I think there are beneficiaries. I mean, if the U.S. dollar does, say, decline 10 or 15%, I say maybe, I don't know. There are beneficiaries of companies that will benefit from a dollar that depreciates. And the same thing in Canada with the beneficiaries on the plus side, those people who buy with Canadian dollars goods in the United States, or in China or wherever it might be. Classic example in the 70s was Reitman's. A fortune was made in Reitman's because Jeremy bought much of his purchases with Canadian dollars at par. What we're doing right now is a great deal of work on the beneficiaries. At a time where I think you're going to get a great deal of volatility in the currency markets. We've had for instance, on Southeast Asia, we purchased India 3 weeks ago, and our commitments in India, are up from $19 a share to $31 a share in 3 weeks. That's crazy, but it's happened, and it's happened so quickly. Our positions in Southeast Asia, year to date, up 44%. Come on. Can't continue this way. Mike?
That's pretty good. Okay, that's pretty good. I'm going to try to lose.
Big declines.